It's called EPIC, the Exotic Pet Industry Conference, and it's free to register at epic.live. EPIC is over 20 special guests across 16 sessions covering industry trends, marketing, branding, podcasting, and YouTube. EPIC is for pet keepers and breeders. It's for gecko and invert lovers. It's for snake and spider lovers. EPIC is for anyone who enjoys these amazing animals. Did I mention it's free? Register now at epic.live.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Let's see. We got a little. Are we clear? Listen, everybody. April 4th, Epic. Okay, Exotic Pet Industry Conference. Listen, you have to sign up for it to see it. It's not on YouTube. Okay, so you have to sign up. If you haven't signed up for it yet, get your fucking life together and sign up for fucking Epic. They're having a bunch of industry talks. They're having a bunch of community talks. They're having a bunch of everything talks. It's not a ball python conference. It is basically a conference set up for different industries inside the reptile world and how to get you going and everything else. They're gonna have a community segment. They're gonna have a podcast track. They're gonna have a YouTube track. They're gonna have the modernization of reptile shows, which ties into what we have going on here tonight with my guest Marilee Cook of the Western New York Reptile Expo. So listen, go sign up for Epic. You can do it at epic.live. I mean, come on, just fucking do it. Everybody's always preaching we want to do better, we want to do more. Sign up for Epic fucking Live. And that's this Thursday, I believe. It's right around the corner. So go check that out. Also, all right, speaking of fucking well, what the fuck? Shauna, goddamn it. Fucking okay. Listen, words are cheap. Fucking do something. Operation Deeds Not Words. Everybody's fucking getting a shirt. Be where all the fucking cool kids are at. Buy a shirt to support disabled vets. Be part of the cool crew, the Reptile Cool Guy Club in the community. All the profit from every shirt that we sell goes directly to Camp Freedom in Pennsylvania, which is a giant 600-acre or 6,000-acre plot of land where they do things for disabled vets. Basically on a weekly basis, but what they mainly do is they take disabled vets out of a clinical setting and bring them out into nature and have them do things that they used to do before they were disabled. So they'll take a guy with no legs hunting. They got a cool ass wheelchair with like tank treads and shit. But they'll take disabled people hunting and fishing and camping and shooting and just all this cool shit. I'm hoping that when we go, they give the Fatman a machine gun because the campaign ends on July 4th of this year. We'll probably be going up there the following week to drop off a check. So our goal right now is $5,000. We're very close to hitting it. So we want to actually extend it, and we want to have like a push prize where we jump it up to 7,500. So we're doing little things like we're giving away these cool fucking these cool bracelets here. I don't know if you could see it on the screen, but you know, there it is. Deeds Not Words. Fucking, we were giving it away at Gettysburg this weekend. We sold a bunch of shirts at Gettysburg. It was a lot of fun. The only thing I don't like about Gettysburg is the 4-hour drive. So we had an amazing time. We saw lots of amazing people, and it was just a fucking good time all together. So me, Paul from Large Marge went, Sean O'Connor went, the elusive Sean O'Connor went to an actual show. Jay from Green Line, Ken from LMK. I mean, we had Sarah and Rich from HJS Serpents came down to help us and made some fucking like pulled pork. Now, normally I don't just eat random food that people made at home, you know, at a reptile show. Like, I'd rather eat the fucking chicken that they give you there, or fucking order Uber Eats from the show. But Rich killed it, made this giant fucking thing of pulled pork. Made cornbread with it too. The cornbread was fucking probably my top 3 cornbreads that I've ever eaten. I'm a fat dude, so you could take that to the bank if you have a chance of Rich from HJS Serpents making cornbread for you. Fucking take it. Okay. Now, anyway, listen, go buy an Operation Deeds Not Words shirt. Again, Shauna just took the sign down. Fucking that. There you go. Fatman Nation, thefatmannation.com. You could buy a shirt. Just click on the support disabled vets in the menu. That'll take you to a link where you could buy the shirt, and the shirt will get delivered directly to you. We have sizes up to 6X for the real fat bastards. Okay. So listen, buy a fucking shirt. Again, get your fucking life together. Buy a shirt. Support disabled veterans. For the love of fucking God. All right. Listen, if you're in Las Vegas and you want a quality ball python, Brian Bode is the guy to go to. Okay. Brian is a killer dude. Brian actually did a donation, bought that t-shirt, is fucking rocking the t-shirt. We got pictures of him that we'll be putting up on all of our socials next week or the week after. We're doing a major push for this. As you guys know, you've probably seen all the posts that we're doing. Brian Bode holds the distinction of the only one of my sponsors who have been on Air Force One. Okay. So listen, he's a cool guy. If you need a fucking ball python, go to Brian Bode Reptiles. Steve Conduit, my boy, Conduit Constrictors. This weekend we hung out. He fucking picked up a shirt. He was rocking that shit. Made some fucking great sales at Gettysburg. I mean, Steve is the real deal. Okay, fucking Steve is the guy that fucking basically will give you the shirt off your back and fucking show you everything you need to know about starting a business with ball pythons. I mean, the guy put $1 million into his fucking business. So he knows what he's doing, not just because he has money, but because he was successful in 20 other things in his fucking life. And listen, the guy has a fucking a boathouse, okay? Has a house with his boat dock right in front of it. Just a vacation thing. I mean, that's just his thing. That's how successful fucking my boy Steve Conduit is. So you want to fucking be successful, you surround yourself with successful people. Steve Conduit's the guy, okay? So if you're anywhere on the East Coast and you need a ball python, check his morph market. It's Conduit Constrictors on Instagram. Lori and Roger Gray, the upper tier support people of the Operation Deeds Not Words campaign that we got going on right now. You probably saw the picture of Roger and Lori that Haley Gray drew, and they're rocking it. So if you need an Exantic anything, like an Exantic Desert Ghost, an Exantic Pod, they're the people to go to. They're out in Alabama. So listen, it's not all it's not all incest and fucking illiteracy in Alabama. Okay, Roger and Lori Gray are crushing it there, and I think they're going to be at the next Bob Vu show. Anyway, they just updated their morph market, so check them out if you want a quality ball python. Now, listen, if you need a quality ball python, leopard gecko, or hognose, Shane Kelly, man. All right. Another guy that fucking bought the shirt, was rocking the shirt and fucking Instagram ads, Facebook posts. The guy's really supporting everything that we do. Guy's been a supporter of mine for the past, I don't know, 5 or 8 years. You know, he's one of my best friends in the hobby. And he's the guy to go to. Small Town Xotics. And no E. It's just X. Go follow him on Instagram. My boy here, Visionary Xotics, actually revamping his entire collection. Also picked up an Operation Deeds Not Word shirt. I'm telling you, this is where all the cool kids are going. And this is what they're doing. They're picking up shirts to help disabled veterans. Visionary Xotics, I mean, look, he's into paint. He's into puzzle. I believe he's into sunset. He got a lot of shit going on. And if you're down in Texas and you need a quality ball python, look no further than William Sanford, Visionary Xotics. former 15 Minutes of Lane contestant. Okay. Listen, if you guys want, call me and let's get you on a sponsorship level for the show. We do pretty well here at the Fatman Nation, and all of our sponsors do pretty well too. So, all right, look, like I said, we just got back from Gettysburg a couple hours ago. If you ever get the chance to ride in a car with Paul from a Large March, fucking do it. We had some terrifying moments with Sean O'Connor driving. We had some terrifying moments with Paul driving. I got to be honest with you. So let's see who we got in the room so we can validate all you fuckers. And, that's the only reason you're here. I already know that. So, Shauna, who do we got here? Paul. First, as always, brother, fucking thank you for this weekend. I appreciate it. Everybody go check out Large March Morphs on Instagram. Okay? HDS Serpents. This is the cornbread guy. That's what I'm going to call him. Fucking Deliverance cornbread guy. Okay? Bald head, giant beard, Duck Dynasty. Fucking, but it makes the best cornbread that I've ever had. Python Prince, my boy Blake. What's going on, brother? Your shirt is in the mail as we speak. So you'll be getting one next week. Python Prince, another guy rocking it out in Albany. Kevin couldn't make it this weekend, and we missed him. So thank you, Kevin, for showing up tonight. Jay is my boy. I mean, he's my partner in crime with the Operation Deeds Not Words campaign, and he's just fucking crushing it. Go follow Green Line Morphs. He's also a Patreon guy. Brian Bode is here. I talked enough great shit about him. He's also a Patreon guy. HJS, Shane, everybody else is also Patreon people too. So I'm happy with all you guys. Dark Desire Pythons. That got to be a Marilee person, but Kristen, thank you for coming over. Josh Bradshaw. That got to be a Marilee guy too. What's up, Josh? Thanks for stopping by. Mako Morphs, fucking top tier donator to the Operation Deeds Not Words campaign, and he'll be getting a character drawn of him. And thank you, Mako, for doing everything that you do. MCBR, thank you for coming. I think you guys are Marilee people too. So Marilee's just crushing it tonight, fucking bringing the people. Mm-hmm. So. Blind Mike, what's up, brother? Fucking miss you, man. Blind Mike, I'm gonna contact you. Listen, Blind Mike, just drop me your number on Instagram. I want to talk to you about being on the Rising Machines show. So do that later on. My boy Chris Ferenzi, fucking also Patreon member. What's up? And also Deeds Not Words, fucking shirt buying motherfucker. Chain Reaction was repping Operation Deeds Not Words at the Dallas show this weekend. Okay, biggest show in Texas. Thank you, Danny, for doing that. I appreciate you, brother. Lori Gray, I already said enough nice things about you, but you're hot. I'll say more things about you. And listen, your boobs looked awesome on the Zoom call. So go, Lori. Okay, M&K Xotics, Mike, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Fucking hope things are okay out there. Let's see. Dalton Carter, fucking ordered a shirt today. Thank you, Dalton. Fucking you are probably, that is the whitest white guy name that I fucking ever saw. So I will recognize you when I ship your shirt out. Sammy Vargas, spent all weekend with Sammy. Fucking love the guy. I can't say enough good things about Sammy. Sammy was doing the aggressive sales thing this weekend, and I fucking love him for it. Dwight the Pie Man, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Nikki, fucking or Nicked, you. What's up? How you doing, brother? Lady Tiz, I was hanging out with her this weekend. Awesome. I mean, really, like the Pennsylvania people kind of got their shit down. Okay, Lady Tiz was awesome. It's always fun and a good time to see her. So I appreciate the fact that Lady Tiz fucking hung around and fucking talked to me for a little bit. All right. 319 Red. That's right. Fucking shirt buying motherfuckers. That's all we have here. Gecko Cove. What's up, brother? The Gettysburg show was great. I honestly can't say enough things about Gettysburg. I'm also going to Hamburg next month. So I will let you know how that goes because I have not been to Hamburg since it was like a Tijuana flea market in that big old armory where they were selling like pit vipers and chickens and fucking I think little baby lambs and shit like that. It was just weird. It was just a weird vibe. But I'm going back to Hamburg for the Operation Deeds Not Words table, and I heard that the new place is incredible, so I can't wait to go there. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring on Marilee Cook of the West New York Reptile Expo. Boom. What's going on? People are here for you, babe. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. We busted your podcast cherry tonight, huh?
You did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, for first time. But why? You're like you run a reptile show. Why did it take you this long to be on the podcast? Yeah, like why did it take you this long to be on the podcast?
I'm a nervous person. I don't know. I feel like if people want to know, they'll come talk to me. So I just let them do that thing.
Yeah, but you're limited then to only the people around you.
You are 100% right. I had a lot of encouragement here.
Yes.
I was nervous. I was worried. I'm going to be fidgety.
No, don't even worry. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to be seeing.
It's going to be fun. Okay, so before you were a reptile show promoter, you were a reptile keeper, right? So let's talk about that for a little bit. Okay,
I am still a keeper.
Right. No, I would assume. Now, what do you keep?
Something dumb.
Look at Mako. He said Marilee is a great person. What do you keep right now?
Well, I keep a frilled dragon. I have a rescue soul called a black and white king snake, and a couple pure locales of Leachianus, Chihuahua, some gargoyle geckos, a boa, and then some ball pythons.
You are one of the first people. You're one of the first people that I've seen, at least on Facebook, that are doing the Fembriatus. And I used to do the Fembriatus all the time.
But I love the Fembriatus. I didn't want to bring them up because I'm like still not so confident in keeping them, but I think learning a new species is really cool, and having the trust and ability of the people that like you work with in the reptile industry, that they would be like, hey, I do know somebody that would be a good fit for this.
Right.
To have that recommendation was so cool. So to even be able to keep them, like I'm just always worried to say anything about them because I'm terrified something will go wrong. They're so tender.
Here, I'll throw out something that will put all the shit on me instead of you. When I kept Fembriatus, we actually kept them in the bathroom and because of the shower humidity. And we basically had it in like an enclosed shower, and we just kept them there. Put a bunch of plants in there, and they lived for years. Okay, they were all wild caught. They probably lived.
That makes me. I'm feeling pretty good about this now.
Yeah. No, we kept them in the bathroom, and we take 2 or 3 showers a day. The humidity was always way up in there. And they loved it. Okay.
Yeah.
And put a bunch of plants in, and it was killer. And back then, I mean, you think it's hard to find information about them now. It was impossible to find that 25 years ago.
About them then. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the ones we bought were wild caught. So, they seem to adjust pretty well. At least it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to feed them, because you don't want crickets running around your house or mealworms dropping down into the drain.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that you were keeping those, I mean, just so you know, everybody knows the common term is leaf-tail geckos, right?
Mm-hmm. They're that common leaf-tail, yeah.
And dude, they are so fucking badass, man. I mean, it's probably
the male literally stands like there. He's huge.
Yeah. And they just hang.
When I opened it, I was like, I thought this animal would be smaller.
Yeah, no, they grow to be pretty big, and they're a lot of fun to take pictures of, and photograph and all that. So we didn't really breed them. Our concentration wasn't on breeding, 25 years ago. It was just on keeping. So to see that you had them was pretty cool. And funny thing is, we also kept frilled dragons back then. Again, all wild caught, and they were great because we used to have carpet in our house up until like the kitchen and living room, and then we had tile, right? So it was always great to watch them run on the carpet, and then they hit the tile and they just run in place and they're going nowhere, and
And they're
they were
fast. They're so
they were the
fast.
funnest lizards that I've ever had too. So
They're so fast.
so already, I got a history with two of the animals that you keep, and I see them running around there. So what made you get the lychee and the frilled? Or
Well, the lychees, no, the Fimbriatus. Yeah, the Fimbriatus, they've been a goal species of mine for a few years. Once I got into geckos, I was like, man, those are really cool. They basically look like moss, but they also have a leaf tail, and there's kind of a little bit of everything I loved, and I think they're really cartoony.
They got the cool marble eyes too,
Yeah, like hypnotoad eyes, like that Poliwag or that Pokemon style eye, and it's just they have if somebody threw a gecko print against a wall and it splatted, and then they just like peeled it off the wall, and they were like, "These are your feet now." Like they just look like little cartoons, and I mean big cartoons because the female is smaller than the male, but the male, he's just like I'm enamored with him because he does these color changes that I didn't expect because you don't read again. There's not a ton about like expect this with this. Like you expect fire up and fire down, but he's like actually color changing as he's more comfortable with his environment, and he is just like loving the live plants. And I keep in a lot of like vertical tubs, which is a very new concept. I'm experimenting with it to see, but the humidity is so good for them without trapping the moisture because you can I drill holes through with spade blades. So they get such great aeration that you don't have to worry about mesh because Fimbriats are known for their rubbing of their noses. And they'll get really unsightly marks and infections because they will open that up. So I was really happy to be able to see that they're doing, because it keeps that humidity up, that they're doing really well with it. But I also mist them twice a day and check them frequently without checking them because I'm very nervous. And advice of a dear friend of mine was like, okay, calm down. I'm like, oh,
right.
All right.
Yeah, I had when we got them, of course, they were all wild caught. Not only will people hate me for keeping them in the shower, I bought my shit from Prehistoric Pets, okay? Which were fucking...
You're about to get canceled.
Yeah. I'm definitely losing.
Why are you bringing Jay Brewer up to date when I'm on? Come on.
That was 25 years ago. Fucking, I went into Prehistoric Pets and we saw them, and I don't think we consider them rescue animals. I mean they were fucking healthy, but we got our first ones from Jay. And
I gotta tell you, I love
they are
them.
the best.
They're really exciting.
Yeah, they're one of the best geckos to keep, and I'm definitely gonna look at them. But we got them for like fucking $70, like 25 years ago.
I would have loved that. Yeah.
Now they're like fucking $800, right?
I would have loved that. It was an investment that I do not regret. It was an investment I was worried about, but it's not an investment I regret. I think that they are very exciting. I think, it's not even a long-term plans with them. I'm just happy to keep them. It's great that they're 1-in-1, but it's not necessarily the reason I got them. I really am interested in learning more so about like their behaviors and how and why. And I drill, like I said, I drill and I put these silly twigs in there, and I will tell you, the female she just thinks it's the coolest thing because she has like crisscross twigs all the way down, and she hops down them all night, up and down, and it's the coolest thing to watch. So I love it. I'm a little bit geeky about them, I'm not gonna lie.
No, they would be a species that I would geek out about too. But
so
also
fun.
The frilled dragons are
I'm really lucky there. I'm really lucky there.
We kept two
captive bred.
What's that?
I have captive bred Australians, and that's not something that most people can get. So I'm so fortunate that I have a dear friend who works with them and works with them healthily, or like I can trust that they are what she says they are, and that they come from what they come from, and they're not illegally imported, right? You know.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why we have Grump Gecko. That's his name, and he is just like, again, another really just enriching species to watch. You know, he likes twigs and branches, and he wants to climb and be on trees. He doesn't want to be just sitting. You know, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we actually kept them in a 4x4x2,
Nice.
so that they could get the height on top of like a 3-foot base or whatever it was.
Mhm.
And yeah, I used to love to watch them climb. But there are another species that are like fucking $1,000 now. We got ours for like fucking $150, you know. So
Those imports will do it, or exports.
yeah, but it's nice to see. I definitely want to get a pair of captive bred, or Australians. And where's the other ones
They're
from?
beautiful.
Indonesia, right?
Yeah, the most common others are the Indonesians, and sometimes people do. There's a lot of discrepancy out there that there's some hybrids. You know, some people will say yay,
Right.
some people will say nay. I mean, I'm sure it's similar with bearded dragons. There is some crossover in the Pagona species, so it wouldn't be totally unheard of for that to happen. But he has, like, in his frill particularly, he's got a lot of bright oranges. So as he's
Yeah.
maturing in every shed, he gets more and more orange in his frill and his belly, and like right now he kind of is just like white and black and chilling, but he's a remarkable animal. He's a handsome boy, and every time he sheds, he's just more, it's like with snakes, they're just more beautiful, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing that I was bummed out about them was that once they get used to you, they stop frilling up, and you could
He's
basically
not
just,
my friend.
they're like little puppy dogs, so they get used to you fairly easy. And
Mhm.
that was, those are the things I'm going to get back into once I move and have more room here.
Yeah.
Now, you did all this keeping, right? How long were you a
Mhm.
keeper before you were a showrunner?
Let's see. I started keeping at 15, so I didn't get involved with the show until 2018. So almost 12 years, and I've
Okay.
been a licensed vet tech for um, seven, 17 years now. I think. I don't know. I don't want to age myself, right? How horrible.
Mm.
So I've done that, and so it kind of always ran hand in hand. And it started off with just like people that would come in that didn't, so they didn't want to care for the reptiles, they just didn't really know how. So you start like educating that way, and then they're like, hey, well, do you do this? And I'm like, well, yeah, I bring like my animals because they're super well socialized, but like, do I do it? Well, like, no. But sure, I could. So it started, slowly with that, like for friends or family, if they were having like an event or they wanted people to learn, or education, Girl Scout stuff, things like that. And then I then did a show, and I met some people, and they had just started, and we ended up having like a couple transitions, and then it ended up where, people kind of, how the reptile hobby is. Like sometimes it's just here while you need it, and that's okay. It can be, so we have transient people, we have people that big things happen in their lives, and like you just can't keep anymore, or you can't keep the volume you once did. And so, it worked out because it was something I was able to keep up and running through COVID via like virtual shows and things like that. So
Right.
the vendors still were able to sell. And that was what was so hard, is because like Western NY Reptiles was founded on the fact that it's for the vendors, like by the vendors, because we all vended and we all know how that can be.
Right.
Sometimes I have a very strict rule of, and there's discrepancies always, but I won't vend my own show. I
Mm.
don't think that's a personal opinion, but I don't think it's in great taste, because it's hard, because I want my vendors to be successful. I want them to make the sales. I want them to not be or feel price competitive with me. Like, we're in this together. If
Mm.
you make money, I make money. You come back. If you bring good stuff, more of my patrons that come through are happy. We all feed each other, and I think that that's a really important thing. So I think, the community really started to see that, and our community is always in flux. There's always new people coming and going, but it's also one of those things where we're really aiming to push the education side of things, because Facebook has made it that as you know, everybody is an expert, even though they've laid one clutch of crested gecko eggs. So, because of that, we're really working on trying to just make sure that people actually know the species that they're keeping on. That's why the lecture series is involved. And I really
Right.
just want people to like see that, like, here, this guy has kept the snake itself for 27 years, and this is how he does it. Learn from him.
Right.
He does it well.
Right.
You know, so then, and it helps to kind of, again, it's another hobby that we feel like is kind of petering out when it comes to the youth, because you have a generation of people that weren't really exposed to like snakes. We didn't find them till like our 20s or like, you know, late teens, things like that. So now we can kind of focus on, even if the parents don't love it, the kids have the exposure and don't have the fear base of it. So maybe they will get involved or will volunteer. I also work with a lot of falcon rescues. So, you know, that way people can learn about like what goes into falconry and things like that. But I work closely with a veterinarian. So, you know, it's one of the few shows that can say I have a veterinarian on staff, and he does walk through and make sure that the tables look healthy. And if the animals don't, they're pulled.
Right.
It doesn't always make friends, but it makes quality. And I
Yeah.
can say I've never had to have any of my vendors' animals pulled from a table. And that is something I'm excessively proud of. You know, Western NY Reptiles wouldn't be what it is without the vendors. It's as simple as that.
Well, the falconry people are fucked up, right? Like, I mean, I didn't know,
Awesome.
like the falconry people, like I didn't know that you had to like catch your first falcon and shit like that. Like, I didn't
I
know
didn't
that, but
either. When I learned that, I was like, oh my God.
yeah,
You have to like take
Bob
it from
Clark,
like the eggs. Like, yeah.
yeah,
Because it's
yeah,
got an imprint.
yep. Bob Clark does falconry, and so does Johnny Gobble. And
Okay.
fucking when I talk to them, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! It just
I
seems
have a
like,
lot of respect for it, because you really have to be committed to that bird.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know,
You
that
got to
bird
make that
becomes your spouse. It's
that
your
that
spouse.
that fucking dog has, or that bird has to be like a dog, okay? And
It
you have to
becomes them
treat
for
it
some
like
people,
a fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you find somebody, bring them back, and she rips her eyes out. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. It's like it's like I'm kind of past the stage of owning something that could blind me. Okay, um, it's not cool anymore. Okay, it's like
Hey, there
I
was a
got
time
one
it
leg. I
scored
can't
points.
afford to lose any more body parts. You know.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
um, but let's talk about the frequency of shows,
Yeah.
because that's been the shit talk of the hobby right
Mm.
now. It's like it used to be, for instance, like here in New York, there were 3 White Plains reptile shows a year, right?
Mm.
So every 4 months there'd be a reptile show. Everybody would buy what they had to buy, and you know, there was a sense of urgency there, because if you didn't buy the animal right there, it's going to be gone in 4 months. So you'd
Mhm.
lose your chance to get it, right?
Mhm.
So now there's fucking 38 reptile shows every weekend throughout the country. And it's a little bit ridiculous. And I've heard
We
good
keep a
things about them.
calendar.
Dude, I know, believe me.
You probably have
Um I've I work like I work with, you know, some of these companies that do them. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Buffalo, okay? But I've heard a lot of shitty things about Buffalo too, because I hear that the show promoters there just do these fucking immature baby tactics with their competition, and one tries to outbaby the other, and fucking nobody wins when that's the case. So
Nobody
is
does win.
that what you see going on up there as a show promoter?
Unfortunately, as a show promoter, I do see that, and recently have been party to that, and it's really hard for me because I don't engage in things like that. So, when I finally did engage, thinking that it was like, no, like I'm telling the truth, because I don't normally engage in stuff like that. It's something I just decided I was gonna leave well enough alone with. You know, we were pretty good with. Do I see it frequently? Yes. Do I see some of the community is really close? Absolutely. Some of the show promoters super close? Absolutely. You know, I think that there's just a lot of distinct things happening, because a couple of like combined group show promoters are kind of in like a split, and that's part of a problem for that. So I think that that's where some of it stems from, because it's all a little bit messy. I think having too many shows is a big problem, and so we only have 3 shows a year, because I think anything more than that floods the market. And even at 3 shows a year, I'm like, all right, guys, well, like that's why I aim for variety, and it can be hard because there are times like right now. I stepped up for another local but not local show that was getting slammed just for like their frog selection. And it's like, listen, guys, like crypto's going around right now. Like it's not just that we can't get the vendors to have frogs. It's like people are worried about their colonies. We don't need to be exposing things.
When you say crypto, you're talking about the disease, not the Bitcoin.
Yeah, among the frogs that's wiping out colonies. Yeah, it's pretty big right now. So I think it's safe for vendors or even just frog keepers in general to kind of play it safe right now. I don't think that's a bad thing. I do understand from a patron's point of view that like it's really bummer because like you can't see the variety you would normally see. But from a vendor and a breeder and even a hobbyist or a caretaker, you are always going to put the quality of the animal first. So I would rather lose the sale of one frog, even though thousands of people get to see it, versus then bringing home the rest of my frogs, and now all my frogs have crypto and I lose everything because I sold one frog. So let's cut people a little bit of a break here.
Now,
and I'm not even keep frogs.
Yeah, but frogs are awesome too. I mean, frogs are
so
great.
Cool. I just was scared I would unalive it. That's all.
But let me ask you like a serious question, because you are a promoter. Do you think that the infighting of promotions in Buffalo, and we're just using Buffalo as an example because it's everywhere.
Totally, totally.
I mean, we were in Gettysburg this weekend. Yeah, we were in Gettysburg this weekend, and they also had a show in Oaks, and you can't, which is 2 hours away. So you can't tell me that one didn't pull from the other, and nobody ends up winning, right? So, do you think that the infighting between promotions is keeping away the bigger companies as sponsors, like the Zoo Meds, like the Palm Streets, like the Red Lines? Do you think that they're not doing it because they're worried about that?
I think some of it is they're waiting to see the cream rise to the top.
Right.
Does that make sense? Just kind of see how it shakes out before they kind of jump in with somebody, or maybe even just see like what specific people are about, and maybe then deciding then that that's something that they're more interested in siding with, just based off of who they are.
So Mako just asked, how many shows are in West New York as a whole?
Too many.
And first of all, what is
promoters or shows themselves?
Wait. First of all, Western New York includes the geographies of what?
Western New York, I would say, ends at right around like the Batavia, Chili region, is typically that side. So I would say Rochester then takes over and it becomes more centrally New York at that point.
Okay.
So usually like past that point and then all the way up to like the north, it would be like I don't know, probably up to what's above Rochester? Onondaga, I think it is. I'm not great at that one. And then down south, then you have like Olean and which is part of Nye County, and Erie County then comes up with like Salamanca, and that's basically where it cuts off. Yeah, right before like it comes all the way down Jamestown, right above Dunkirk. I think is the cutoff for Erie. I think so.
Okay, so how many promoters are in Western New York trying to put together reptile shows right now?
3 that are active, 1 that is in I would call a resting state.
Oh, okay. So you got 3 active show promoters. And what's the frequency of shows in Western New York?
Right now, I would say by my numbers, it's almost a show. Right in the spring, it's a show every month. And then when you're going to summer, it cuts down to just 1 or 2 shows because there's some of the Florida shows, and it's nice here, so people really want to be outside. and then fall picks up, and nobody. I think I don't know of anybody else's dates. I only know my dates for fall so far. But
Right.
that's yeah.
But
It's too
do
much.
you
And
guys at least work together and say, okay, I won't have a show on the weekend, you're doing it, or on the within 2 weeks?
some of us are very good at working together. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's at least a plus, right? So
Yeah, and it
uh
makes it easier with scheduling, because then at least if one does feel too close, I can space mine out maybe 6 weeks, so buy some time.
well also a show a month isn't bad.
It isn't, but I also want the vendors to be able to sell, and a lot of the vendors are all in the area because we do try to cater to like hometown people.
Right.
So it's hard because then they feel like they're not selling because they have to rotate, but you can't really rotate when you're rotating between the same group of people
Right.
that are coming. So if the same group of people have advertised to, well, it's white noise now. And again, it's like what you were saying.
It is do you think that at the end of the day there's hope that you three guys will work together? Have you ever thought of just pooling your resources and just
I have.
doing one
I
show every
have.
couple of months? Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I have.
And that sounds like it
I
was it was hit when we're not going to do that. Okay. All
I
right.
I think right now I have a really solid team behind me, and I love what they're about. I love their strengths. I think everybody plays to each other, and because of that, I don't really want to mess with something that's working,
Mhm.
because we don't all line up ethically, and that can be problematic.
Right.
We're
Okay.
all a little bit different, and that's okay. Everybody does things differently. I don't have a problem with that. My thing is I want the vendors to be successful. I want the patrons to have a good time, and I want the show to be an experience. The show isn't just about the show. It's about the show and learning, and the show and experiencing. And that's why, like, I don't encourage vendors to have clients handle their animals unless they want them to. Like, that is on your discretion. I don't want you feeling like your snake's gonna be overhandled. I don't want your animals any more stressed than they are because they're already in, their display cases. I want them to feel calm, cool, and collected. So do your best with that. And that's why we have education animals that come so people can handle and still have that experience. Shout out to Chad Edwards of Smart Snakes. He's amazing. He's definitely my number one educator, and I personally feel the number one educator in the community because he volunteers all of his time and packs up his 40 different species of snakes and then like 40 different species of tarantulas, and sets up a really great display and talks at everything. And he really helps to forward that education and kind of bring that sort of feel that of an experience. And that's what it's about at my shows. It's more so about the experience than it is just like, hey, buy this reptile, because then if you purchase it, you might want to go to the hard goods vendor who is signed in with us because you've learned upstairs it needs XYZ and you thought it only needed two things that you already had.
Right.
So it benefits everybody, and it really has been a good circle. I plan to bring in even more speakers to the point that it will continue in its own section. I guess now is a good time as any to announce August 24th, 2025. At the M Hotel, I have moved the show to a larger location. We needed a bigger venue because we did outgrow it. So, and I don't mean vendor wise, we outgrew it client wise, which is a fabulous problem to have, but I want everybody to be comfortable and safe. So, it's right off the 90 in Cheektowaga for whoever wants to attend. Same thing with our fall show date, 11/1. We put it on a Saturday so it does not affect the season. Go Bills. And yeah, that's where I'm at with the vendor shows. I think some people have a really great idea and the right passion. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of drive. I'm not ever opposed to working with people, but as far as like encompassing now, like I think at this point our team is really solid, and I have really great counsel, so I'm thankful for that.
Is there an overabundance of ball python breeders in Western New York?
There's a lot of ball python breeders in Western New York, and that is problematic.
How many
So,
ball python breeders do you have to say no to because the show would end up being all ball python breeders if you said yes to everybody?
Well, I only host a limited species show. So what that means is I only have 3 ball python breeders, and every single one of my ball python breeders has to have different morphs that they're working with than the ones who are attending. That way you all have shot sales that, you know, if somebody is looking for a specific look or specific genes, they're not all looking at, you know, I own a belle and she's absolutely beautiful. Shout out Macamorphs. But she's a great snake. She's handleable. She is lovey and she's great, but I don't want a whole show full of bells or a whole show full of pieds or a whole show full of xanthics. I want a little bit of everything, but truly a little bit. I want the vendors to stand a chance without having to price compete each other. I don't believe in that. I think that's why our market is in part of the state it's in, is because we are, especially a lot of not even wholesalers. What happens is wholesalers end up selling to regular people, not realizing because they're buying such large volumes. So
Right.
because of that, it really, I want to make sure that the market can stabilize as much as it can in Buffalo anyways. I don't expect it to make like a national impact, but it really
Right.
is. I do think it's happening for Western New York because my vendors do fill out surveys, and in their surveys they have the option, it's not required, to put in their analytics per se for the show. And with those analytics I can kind of gauge like, hey, this show did really well for XYZ species, what did we do different here? And that does help, and it does help to play to the algorithm, to have where they can kind of also have people that are honed in looking their specific species or their specific morphs. I like everybody to have a fair shake. I hated going to shows.
I got to tell you, I would suck a big black dick to go to a show with only 3 ball python breeders on it. Okay. Fucking, that would be incredible. Okay. So
And it's the same thing. We do the same thing with cresteds because the same thing.
it's exact. And the
it's the
crested
market.
gecko.
I want to help to stabilize what we can. Like there's some things that are done, but we have really solid crested gecko breeders in the area. I mean, Nick Dodge is one of the best I've seen in a long time, and I'm happy that he continues to sign up for every show because he really is very talented and has really quality things. Same things that we have Brianna Morton. She does a great job, and I'm really impressed. And I think that they have a lot of potential. We have a new breeder. Again, same thing. Cap at like 3 crested breeders, and again, it has to be different things. He's working with some really cool genes that nobody in the area even is working with. So like, I'm super excited to have him on the show, and he didn't even know that like this was a thing people did, because again, if the knowledge isn't out there that like isn't just in the community, then people don't even know that you host a reptile show. Like they just are like, oh, it's this event with all these cars in this line.
Right.
And some
Well,
stop by and
what
some
do you
don't.
think? What do you think as a show promoter, the next big ball python crested gecko is going to be? Like, what do you think the next species is going to be?
Oh, I think it's already happened. It happened to bearded dragons and leopard geckos, unfortunately. I think really, I think I'm getting nervous that it's going to be gargoyle geckos, but
Right.
hopefully it won't be. I think they're a really part of they're really cool species to keep, so I like that for them. I just want to see it happen in the right hands. That's all.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, what's the 5-year plan for the West New York reptile?
Well, the 5-year plan is bringing in larger speakers, I guess I'm going to phrase it as, because I don't want to just like hone it into medical. So speakers that specialize in, only working with specific species that people don't normally get to see, especially up in my area, because we have so many different sites rules because of, being so close to the border. So, I want people to be able to come in and be able to come across the border for the education series. So my hope is that what will happen is it's going to grow as it has been so far, and we're moving to the next larger venue, which is in the works, but I don't want to drop it because it's, again, things are a little volatile here sometimes, so I try to be cautious. But I think with that, and then the 10-year plan is either the convention centers or to take it where, you know, it's something combined with another large show in New York, that it can be an all breeds conference is my
Right.
goal.
Have you ever
So
been to a Tinley or a Daytona or a national level show?
I haven't been to a national level show, and that's my goal this year. So
Well,
if I can get a weekend
honestly,
away
I
from
think that what you should do is, if you want to see a clinic on how to run an incredible animal expo that's all animals, go to the CRBE in September, because the mindset of the Canadians are so different than the States ones, and
That's a really good
probably
idea.
it's fairly local to you, right?
Yeah, it's
And
not far at all.
the CRBE is in this giant place that has dogs, cats, plants, and
That's
reptiles.
my hope. Yeah.
The killer thing about it was that people had to walk through the reptile section to get to the dog or cat section or the plant section. And if you're a reptile breeder and you have 10,000 people come through the door, if you can't sell to 10,000 new people that have never seen a reptile before, you don't belong vending, you know? And they put on such an incredible show that two of my guys that came with me said it was they liked it better than Tinley. So if you get a chance to, I would definitely go to the CRBE in September. I think you're frozen up. She is frozen up. Okay. So I don't know if you could hear me or not, but sign out and then sign back in again. So, oh, fucking Marilee is frozen. But while she is frozen, I believe that it's a good time to remind everybody to go pick up an Operation Deeds Not Word shirt from the fatmannation.com. Every fucking penny of profit goes to disabled veterans. That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, you're actually doing something fucking great for people, or for people that put it on, you know, all on the line, so you didn't fucking have to. Go check it out. I mean, fucking right here. I don't know if you could see me, but fucking right here, right here. I'll shut this off. Boom, right here. Fucking that's me with a fucking fake leg. Fucking being a guy. I'm not a disabled vet, but I'm a disabled person. That has to fucking count for something, right? So, Chris Sunderly. Hey, Chris, is the Darian interview you did out yet? Yes. Okay. If you look at Instagram or Facebook, there's a link for it. We just put out a short of it tonight, I believe. Fucking Brian Bode, fucking my boy. He bought a shirt. We were one of the first guys with the shirt. Brian Bode is actually on the back of the shirt. We have 18 veteran breeders on the back of the show, on the back of the shirt, that have contributed to this whole thing. And they really killed it. That's who we're doing the veteran spotlights on. So that's the old G.I. Joe file card post that we've been doing. Everybody there actually who has one of those file cards is one of the contributors from the back of the shirt. I don't know if Marilee is coming back yet. Lori's getting a tank in addition to the shirt. Nice. That's all I'm saying. Want to see those cans in the fucking tank top. Listen, right now, though, just so everybody here knows, let's see, there's only 20 people here. I think I could show it to you guys. Listen, that red check, right? That's a Fat Man Nation exclusive. If you are a supporter of Redline and don't like the Morph Market green check mark thing that they're fucking basically, you know, fucking shooting on everybody, DM me. I will send you the ping and you could put your red check verified on all your ads, because that's what we're doing now here too. And I fucking love doing it. I'm not causing trouble. I'm just showing my support for fucking Redline. So if you guys want that little red check mark in the corner here, right here on the top of my finger, Brian, I will DM it to you, okay? Fucking anybody who wants a red check verified will get it. So That's one of the new things that we have going on here for the year. Also, we're going to be doing a lot more videos where we're not doing interviews and we're doing actual videos of shit that we got going on here at the Fatman Nation. All right, listen, I guess Marilee is gone because of technical difficulties. I'll tell you why fucking Buffalo fucking shows are fucking fighting with each other. It's because they got shitty internet and they can't fucking they can't all get a Wi-Fi signal from whatever place they're doing. So, nah, that's not true. Well, what we're gonna do is then we're gonna call it because Marilee's not here, and we'll just maybe we'll bring her back for round 2 at some point. But she did great tonight. I thought she came off as very fucking charming and very knowledgeable, and it's nice to see people keeping fucking Europlatus fimbriatus again. I fucking love that. So anyway, everybody, thank you for coming. I'm gonna shoot the old Epic ad out because don't forget it's April 4th, which is this Thursday. Come and check it out. If not, I will see you guys on Tuesday, I believe, where I'm gonna have Corey DeLong from CD Constrictors on the main show. And my boy Blake, Python Prince, Renaissance Reptiles, is throwing his hat in on the 15 minutes of lane thing. So I will see you guys Tuesday. And then I will see you guys Thursday, probably for Epic. Again, go fucking sign up for Epic. It's going to be awesome. Thanks to my boys, Bash Coder, Mike over at Herb Collectors, Redline, Josh's Frogs, Chewy's actually a sponsor of it. And look, we got great people. Just go to the fucking thing. All right, pay attention to Craig here.
It's called Epic, the Exotic Pet Industry Conference, and it's free to register at epic.live. Epic is...
Holy shit, Marilee is back.
My phone overheated. Can you see it? I told you something that would happen. I have jinx. My phone overheated, turned off, turned back on, and it was right back to the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, we were calling it a night too.
I figured.
So,
bye. Thank you again for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you again for coming on. Do me a favor, hang out for 5 minutes backstage, and we'll just say our goodbyes. But I'm going to torture everybody with Craig again. So everybody, Marilee, give me the Instagram of the show.
Oh, at Western NY Reptiles. There's one that's at the WNY Reptile Show. And then the next one is we have Western New York WNY.reptiles. So we have 2 different handles just in case. A lot of people get canceled these days. So
go fucking follow her. All right. Get your life together. All right. Do shit that you gotta do, fucking people that are promoting some positive shit in the fucking hobby. All right, because there's very few of us. I'm including myself in that. So fuck you guys that say
me too.
Else.
So honestly, I mean, who am I?
There we go. All right, Marilee, just hang out backstage for a minute.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. All right. So now, because Marilee came back because of her shitty internet, you got to get tortured with fucking Craig again. And I'm going to fucking, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I don't care. I want all you guys to come to Epic. Go sign up, epic.live.
It's called Epic, the Exotic Pet Industry Conference, and it's free to register at epic.live. Epic is over 20 special guests across 16 sessions covering industry trends, marketing, branding, podcasting, and YouTube. Epic is for pet keepers and breeders. It's for gecko and invert lovers. It's for snake and spider lovers. Epic is for anyone who enjoys these amazing animals. Did I mention it's free? Register now at epic.live.
It's free. Are you ready? Let's go.